You ever see blue and red police lights bouncing off lake water at night? It's not something you forget, trust me. It looks like the 4th of July on a bad day, just all broken fireworks and flashing on people's faces. That's how it started the night 2 patrol cars rolled up to the boat ramp at Maple Ridge Lake, crunching gravel, while Karen from the HOA stood there on the dock with her peach blazer and a clipboard like she was running a sword fight. "Officer over here," she barked, waving her clipboard at the cops. Yeah, that happened. She had the nerve to say loud enough for half the county to hear. He refused to come to our mandatory HOA meeting. He's causing trouble again. There I was standing next to my little cedar canoe, hand steady, copper, the dog at my side, watching all the neighbors lining up behind Karen, some of them with arms crossed, some pretending not to see, and a couple just flat out filming the whole mess on their phones. Sun was getting low gold lines stretching out over the water loons, calling somewhere far off. Would have been a beautiful evening if not for the circus brewing on shore. You could tell a storm was coming, real thunder, but also that kind of pressure in the air before people snap. Officer Miller got out first, tall, calm, with a mustache you could set your watch by. Patel stepped out next, short, quick, careful, already reading the room. Karen points at me like she'd just caught a bank robber, says, "That's him. He refuses to follow community rules. We need you to make him comply." Officer Miller looks at me, easy voice. "Sir, what's going on tonight?" I told him straight, "I'm just loading my canoe. I told the board I wouldn't be coming to a meeting that wasn't properly noticed, which last time I checked was still my right." Karen, real sharp, lets out a laugh like she's never heard of rights. He thinks he's a lawyer. "The meeting is now, everyone's waiting." "He's ignoring the summons," she says. "And you'd think I was holding up the Fed not missing bingo night." Patel steps in. "Ma'am, is this a criminal matter or just a disagreement about a meeting?" Karen? "Oh, she was ready. It's a violation. He needs to be removed if he won't comply. He doesn't even act like he's part of our community." The wind picked up smell of rain and fresh-cut grass rolling through. More phones came out. Officer Miller turns back to me, patient. "Will you come speak with the board to resolve this?" I wanted to say yes just to end it, but I knew something Karen didn't know, and that's when everything bent in a way you don't forget. "Officer, I'll show respect," I said, "but I'm not going to the clubhouse tonight, and before you make any decision, I need to show you a document." I reached for my backpack. Karen snapped. "He's pulling something out." I held up both hands. "It's just paper," I said. "Just paper." I pulled out a brown envelope, heavy with signatures, handed it over easy, so everyone could see I wasn't armed. Miller's eyebrows shot up. Karen looked like she wanted to swallow the whole page. That's when the sky cracked open, a bolt of lightning somewhere behind the trees, and the HOA meeting sign went flying across the dock like the world itself was sick of being bossed around. Karen's clipboard slipped out. Her hand skittered away. Patel, hand on her radio, said 3 words, "Hold on, wait," and nobody breathed. That was the peak of it. The point where you either snap or stand steady. And to understand how a clipboard, a storm, and a brown envelope could change a neighborhood, let me back up a sec. I moved to Maple Ridge in early spring, ice barely gone, renting a little gray cabin with a porch that leaned and windows that caught the morning sun just right. Place smelled like pine and old library books. First morning, I'm standing outside with a coffee and a blanket, and there's this kid, Mason, tossing a tennis ball for his golden retriever dog, shaking water everywhere, his mom, Sarah, waving, "Welcome to the lake." Next day, I help old Mr. Hargrove with groceries. He tries to pay me $5. I tell him, "Keep it. Buy some peaches." I fixed the squeaky hinge on his pantry. I mowed the grass by the mailbox so the mailman wouldn't trip. I found a baby bird after a windstorm called Wildlife Rescue, waited with it until help came. You do small things folks notice even if they pretend not to. But then the HOA flyers started showing up. Maple Ridge Lake Homeowners Association. Spring cleanup. Required. Grass must not exceed 3 inches. Boat ramp. Rules. Dues. Late fees. you name it. I paid the dues, picked up trash at the ramp, but people whispered about board votes that never got announced. Surprise fines, a kind of chill in the air, like the rules mattered more than people. First time I met Karen in person, she's in a blazer and white flats on a Saturday lipstick painted on, frowning at my lilac bush. "You must be new," she says. "I'm Karen, HOA president. We keep things nice here. I say I like nice things too, especially neighbors." She tells me lilacs need to be trimmed after they bloom. I say they already have. She's tapping her phone. "Did you register your canoe with the HOA? We have a sticker program." "I've got state registration," I say. "Didn't know about an HOA sticker." She says everyone knows, which means I said it, you do it. After that, I kept helping folks fixing what needed fixing, teaching Mason how to get his bike chain back on. But the board just got louder. No fishing after 8 p.m., no music by the dock, no guests without approval. One Tuesday, I got a letter. The company that owned a big block of lake lots was being sold. Assets split up. "If you're serious about making a difference, now's your chance," a friend told me. I sat at my kitchen table, rain ticking on the glass, thinking about power fist or open hand. Made some calls, double-checked numbers, signed the paperwork. Didn't tell anyone kindness doesn't need a trumpet. Then one Saturday, a new HOA notice, special meeting tonight, mandatory attendance topic blank, not how it's supposed to work. You got to announce meetings with a topic so folks know what's being voted on. Mandatory means mandatory. Karen texted every neighbor who couldn't make it. That's not order, that's pressure. I decided to sit by the dock with Copper instead, just to see what happened. Karen saw me, raised her chin. Said if I didn't show, she'd call the police. Karen, police enforce laws, not HOA reminders. I said, even as she folded her arms and called anyway. Folks stopped in their tracks. That's how we ended up with police lights on the water. Everyone recording Karen, yelling, and me holding that envelope. Power without kindness is loud but weak. Kindness without power is soft and steady. You never know which you'll need until the moment comes. "Sir, what's in the envelope?" Officer Miller asked, steady. "Title documents, voting rights, current roster. They matter." Karen stepped up. "You don't get to wave papers at police and win. This is our community." She didn't say the word, but she wanted to outside her. Officer Patel stepped in. "Ma'am, we can't force someone to attend a meeting. It's not a criminal matter." Karen twisted her mouth. "Remove him from the ramp. He's interfering." Standing on a public ramp, I pointed out paid for with county money. Slid the top page from the envelope, County Partnership Agreement, Public Access Terms. Miller read the line, shoulders relaxed. "He's allowed here," he said. Karen wasn't done. "Then tell him to attend. Make him." Officer Patel shook her head. "We encourage conversation, not force." Karen looked at the crowd. Could have tried kindness. Instead, she doubled down. "We'll fine him for non-compliance, $100 tonight. $100 every day he refuses." Crowd gasped. Neighbors started mumbling. Mr. Hargrove frowned. Sarah shook her head. Mason's eyes got wide. "Fines require a vote," I said. "We'll vote right now," Karen snapped. "Inside, without you." "That's not a fair vote," I shot back. "Enough," she snapped. Officers escort him away. Miller sighed, asked me to step back. I moved down the dock with Copper. The officers closed, the storm rolling in. Then came the rain, heavy, sudden, the kind that washes out the night. "Sir, voting rights. You might want to file a civil dispute," Miller said. "But one line in these papers changes tonight," I said. Karen lost it, lunged for the envelope. Papers went flying. Wind yanked the top sheet into the water. Copper barked. People shouted. Karen slipped arms, windmilling, and fell off the dock into the cold lake. I didn't think. I threw the envelope up to the officers, dove in after her. Water slammed my chest, but I got her head above water. "I've got you. Lean back," I told her. For one long minute there were no officers, no HOA presidents, no votes. Just two people in a storm. That's the simplest rule of life. Help if you can. We got hauled up on the dock, soaked to the bone. Sarah wrapped a towel around Karen. Mr. Hargrove offered me a hand. Copper barked, like we'd won the lottery. The rain hammered down and everyone huddled under the clubhouse awning. And just as it started to feel like maybe things would settle, Elliot, the board member pushed out through the door, tie, limp voice, sharp. "Since certain people refused to attend, we're issuing fines tonight and restricting dock access to board-approved members only. Effective immediately." Crowd turned sour. "That's not right," Mr. Hargrove muttered. "This is why the papers matter," I said to Miller. He nodded. I took the envelope back from Patel. The crowd was watching Copper nudging my leg, ready to go again. I opened my mouth to finally tell the truth, but Elliot cut me off, pointing. Karen flinched. The radios on the officers crackled. Patel stepped in front of me, palm up. "Sir, stay where you are, hands where I can see them." The whole dock went dead silent. "There's been a call," Miller said, voice heavy. "Allegations from inside the clubhouse. Interference. Intimidation." Sarah's voice broke through. "He saved her. He saved Karen." Mason echoed, "He saved her life." But Elliot wouldn't stop shouting. "He's disrupting the peace. You've all seen it." Miller turned to me. "Are you willing to come to the station? Clarify." Lightning flashed. Everyone flinched. I nodded. "I'll cooperate, but these documents matter. They prove tonight's meeting isn't even legal." Karen lunged again, desperate. "Don't let him ruin everything Patel took." The envelope stepped back. "Let's see what's in here first," she said. Crowd called out, "Let him speak! He saved her!" Elliot shouted louder, but people were tired of being afraid. That's when Mr. Hargrove stepped forward, old, bent, brave. "Only lawless thing here is a board that thinks rules matter more than people." The storm chose sides. Suddenly another board member burst out. "There's been vandalism inside. The voting records, somebody destroyed them." Panic ripped through the neighbors. Elliot pointed at me, shouting, "It was him! He staged this whole thing!" The circle closed around me again tighter. The officers hustled inside to check left Patel with me. Elliot prowled. Sarah stood up for me. "He's more of a neighbor than you'll ever be." I told Patel, "Look at those signatures. They show who really owns the controlling shares." She read, face changing, slid the envelope away, eyes hardening. "It doesn't look like nonsense," she said. Karen staggered, panic on her face. "If those papers are real," Mr. Hargrove finished her sentence, "then you've been lying to us." And before anyone could react, Miller returned. "No forced entry, no broken locks. Someone with board access did this." The neighbors gasped. Miller turned to me. "You've been here all night." Heads nodded. "You're cleared." Relief. But Elliot kept ranting. "Those papers are forged." Miller cut him off. "Challenge them in court, not out here." Mr. Hargrove tapped his cane. "We've had enough fines and threats. Maybe it's time for someone else." Hope buzzed in the air. Then a scream from the clubhouse. Mrs. Donnelly, the treasurer. "The safe. It's empty. All the HOA funds are gone." Gasps. Elliot yelled. "It started with him." Copper barked. "You're grasping at shadows," I said. "I've been here, everyone saw." Elliot just yelled louder, fanning fear. "Miller, no one leaves until we sort this." "Who had access?" Mrs. Donnelly. "Only the board, me. Elliot, Karen, James. All eyes on James." Elliot accused him. James shot back. It was chaos. Lightning cracked again. Patel pulled out the papers, confirming they were legit. "You'll need to bring these to the county Monday," she said. "Ownership, voting rights." The foundation itself shaken. Just as people began to hope another scream, "The safe." The money's gone. Elliot blamed me, but people saw through it. Suddenly a shadow darted out the back of the clubhouse, carrying something heavy. I told Miller. Patel called it in. Officers sprinted. Elliot accused me of distracting. Sarah, patience gone, snapped. Maybe you're desperate because you know something we don't. Neighbors murmured agreement. When Miller and Patel returned, they'd found a broken lock cut from the inside. Whoever did this is still here, Patel said. Suspicion grew. I said, the truth will come out. Tonight's not about rules. It's about control. Karen, shivering, stood to give her statement. Patel pressed her, show us what's in your pocket. Karen's hand shook as she pulled out a black velvet pouch, bundles of cash inside. Crowd exploded. I didn't steal it, Karen sobbed. I was keeping it safe. Elliot told me we'd lose everything if the county saw the books. Every head turned to Elliot. He denied it, but his eyes betrayed him. Place the pouch on the bench, Patel ordered. Then James piped up. There was more. Someone else is still out there. The storm wasn't over. Suddenly, flashlights cut through the trees, a figure running, clutching a duffel bag. Miller barked orders. Patel chased. I unleashed Copper. He shot through the woods, barking. Minutes later, Miller and Patel dragged out Elliot muddy, clutching a bag stuffed with cash. Neighbors gasped and erupted. Miller cuffed Elliot, charging him with theft and misappropriation. Karen collapsed, sobbing. I crouched beside her. You were afraid, I said. Now's your chance to do better. Start with kindness. As the cops drove off, rain-eased moonlight slid over the lake and neighbors clapped me on the back. Sarah hugged Mason. Mr. Hargrove shook my hand. Patel returned my papers. You're the majority owner of Maple Ridge now. Didn't mean I ruled. Just meant I could help steer this place back to what it should be. Kindness, not fear. The storm finally broke, leaving only the promise of something new. So where are you watching from? Would you have stood your ground or let the storm pass you by? Tell me your story, because in the end it's not about power. It's about what kind of neighbor you choose to be.